All right, today we're talking about integrations. I feel like every business these days, here's your business, here's a bunch of other data, your business, there's a bunch of other data. That's all businesses these days. So, how do you know which companies have the integrations that you support? If you're an integrations tool, and there's a handful of them. So, I met with Trey Griffith, who is the founder of XKit, yesterday, and I was chatting with him, and he said to me, it's not like there is a list out there of all the companies that have a Salesforce integration. And I said, challenge accepted. So here we are. How do you find which companies have the integrations that are key to your business's success? Now, let's actually dig in a little further. Let's look at XKit's website so you have an understanding of what they do. So there's one key graphic here, which is this graphic, right? All of the things in XKit. So basically the value here is that you don't have to maintain a Salesforce integration, a Pipedrive integration, a Monday integration for whatever B2B SaaS app. The universal CRM API, it could not be said better than that. But now you want to understand who has the most number of integrations, that has a lot of usage, etc., that is maintaining all these integrations. That's a pain in the butt. Now, there's a lot of cool ways to go about this. You could look at different triggers if, Copper changed something to their API, and then you can reach out and say, boy, isn't it suck to have to integrate to make this huge Copper change? There's a lot of really cool trigger plays, especially with pain here. But I'm not even going to go over that. I'm going to talk base level TAM scoring. How do you identify that people have integrations? So I talk about this all the time, but inversion thinking is really great here. So there's two ways we could go about this. Either A, we can source the world for companies that have these integrations, or B, look at companies and see if these have integrations. So we're going to start with the easiest case here, which is how do you find the companies that have the most integrations? There's a hack. Look at this. So all you have to do is search for Google in URL integrations, right? Which means it's important to them. And then in this case, I said any of these keywords. And so it makes sense. Zapier, right? Duh. You can start to then kind of see what are the companies that have lots of integrations, right? So look at Autopilot, Zendesk, Salesforce, HubSpot, CRM integration, boom, right there in the title. Good result, Google. So you probably go and crawl this list, and now you have a bunch of outplay, right? You got a bunch of domains. But what if we want to go the other way? Now it gets a little harder. So fortunately, Harmonic, the world's greatest source for B2B data, and Clay have sponsored this video for you to understand exactly how to pull this data. So let us pull up a little search I have here in Harmonic. I thought I was ready. I wasn't ready. Now I got to click on this. Give me a second. All right. So what Trey said to me is that we have a very specific list of companies that we want to go after based on things like their employee size and how much they have raised. So how do you determine that? Well, fortunately, Harmonic has this filter. So here's what I did. I actually went through and I said funding total greater than 3 million. They got some bucks to spend. And then headcount greater than 2, less than 8. So I did a couple of these because you can only import 6,000 at a time. So I ran this for 2 to 100 employees over 3 million. So now I got that whole list. Here's where Clay comes in. Oh, I actually saved it in this tab. How silly. Here's where Clay comes in. So what I did is I integrated these domains inside of Clay. And then the first thing I did is say, just give me all the companies that have integration. So I think that we found 500 or so. So now we have reduced a list of, I think in this case, there's 9,000 records to about 500 companies that have integrations. Wow, you've just drastically reduced the number of companies that you have to target. But that's not all, because it's not helpful if they just have a Salesforce integration. So the first thing I did is I extracted out the integration URL that Google found. Now, obviously, folks, like /integrations, those are going to be better bets for you. So I'm not going to show you in this video, but there's a regular expression that can grab the first snippet after the part of the URL, so you know that this is a really key. It's on their marketing site, right? If it's on resources or help, certainly that's important, but this to me means that integrations is key to their business. So I won't do this in this video, but you can export that and then actually rank a little bit higher. Who cares about integrations? But I went even a step further. I said 2 in URLs. I want to know if both Salesforce and integrations is in the URL, right? Integration/Salesforce. That means that they're an SEO savvy company and Salesforce is really important to them. So now we know that AirDeck has a Salesforce integration. So if you click here, you can actually see what is that integration page. integration Salesforce. Wow, they really care about it. Same thing with HubSpot. So AirDeck is like a pretty good match here because there are two. But I did this with all of their integrations. So Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive. So in this case, this company integrates with Pipedrive, but not many other sites. So probably not as painful. And you can kind of go down here and say, okay, well, they have got 2 integrations. Looks like they've got 2 integrations too. And you can kind of see what is the market? What kind of problems the market has? Is it more of a Zendesk and Zoho thing, right? This is probably more customer success stuff. Here's another company with 2, 5 links. So this is like, they're probably deep in on the Zendesk integration. So now you can start to see, oh, wow, who's this company? This is like Precog. Oh, isn't that that Tom Cruise movie? All right, so now you can see how do you identify just the great domains in your TAM in 2 ways. First, using Google to say who's really talking about these integrations, and then doing the other way around with Harmonic and Clay to be able to say, does this company care about integrations? And now you can rank your TAM and do all sorts of different plays because you don't have to spend time guessing. All right. Well, Trey, I hope this video was helpful to you. And for all of you out there, if you are trying to figure out who are the domains and companies in your TAM that have integrations, you can go to clay.com/Jordan. I got my own URL at Clay so that you can get access to Clay and you can start running these plays in your sales org. And I got no engineering skills. I'm totally useless behind a computer. But with Clay and Harmonic, you too can run plays like this to start scoring your market and running way more interesting sales plays. Thanks so much for watching, and congratulate yourself for making it here. You're going to get access to Clay early because you've watched all the way to the end, and you should congratulate yourselves for learning a little bit more about how to think about go-to-market.